Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Signals and Standards with Suzie, the show where we decode mixed messages, raise the bar, and serve up real talk with a side of empowerment. I'm your host, Suzie, your go-to for truth bombs, clarity, and the kind of tough love that gets you unstuck and back in the driver's seat of your life. Together, let's turn those signals into action. Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Signals and Standards with Suzie, the space where we decode life signals, raise our standards, and empower ourselves to live, love, and lead with intention, one powerful conversation at a time. Now, let's get real for a moment. Life moves fast. It throws us curveballs, lots of them sometimes. Distractions, detours, and sometimes maybe we wake up feeling like we're running on autopilot, juggling responsibilities, chasing peace, or just trying to stay afloat. And in all that noise, we often overlook one of the most powerful emotional resets we have at our fingertips: gratitude. But I'm not talking about the polite, automatic thanks we toss around to be nice. I'm talking about the kind of deep gratitude that transforms your energy from the inside out. The kind that's felt and not forced. The kind that rewires your brain. It calms your nervous system and opens your heart, even on those days when nothing seems to be going right. You see, gratitude isn't just a mood. It's a practice, a perspective, and according to science, one of the most effective ways to boost happiness. It actually reduces stress and it builds lasting emotional strength. Studies have shown it literally changes the chemistry of your brain. So when we talk about gratitude, we're not just being trendy. We're talking about a profound physiological, life-changing shift. And here's the thing. Gratitude isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything's perfect. It's about learning to see what's still good while you're growing through what's hard. It's about choosing meaning over misery and growth over complaining. Because even in the middle of chaos, there's always something, some lesson, some light, some small moment, something worth being thankful for. So if you've been feeling stuck, feeling drained, or feeling like life's been testing your patience a little too much lately, take a deep breath because this episode is your gratitude reset. We're going to break down how to feel better fast, no matter what's going on, by using gratitude as your secret weapon for calm, confidence, and clarity. So grab your coffee, your tea, or maybe snuggle into your favorite cozy spot. And if you've got one, pull out your gratitude journal, even if it's a little dusty. Because at the end of today's show, you're going to see your life, your challenges, and your power through a whole new lens. Ready to get started? Let's do this. So, did you know that gratitude isn't just a mindset? It's actually a neural upgrade. A total reprogramming of how your brain processes emotion, focus, and well-being. Think of gratitude like adjusting the focus on a camera lens. The picture of your life might still have shadows and imperfections, but when you zoom in on what's beautiful and meaningful, the entire frame changes. The scenery doesn't shift, your focus does. According to Harvard Health, people who regularly practice gratitude experience stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, better sleep, and more energy. Not surprising, right? Here's what gets fascinating. The research shows that gratitude doesn't make you feel better. It actually helps you function better. It strengthens the part of your brain associated with decision-making and emotional regulation, the prefrontal cortex, while calming the amygdala, your brain's built-in alarm system. So in plain language, when you practice gratitude, you're literally teaching your brain how to stay steady, grounded, and emotionally balanced, even when life throws you a storm. What else? Well, a 2025 study from the Journal of Positive Psychology found that daily expressions of gratitude activate dopamine and serotonin, your natural mood boosters. These are the same feel-good neurotransmitters that antidepressants are designed to enhance. So yes, saying thank you from the heart is like giving your brain a mini dose of happiness medicine. And who doesn't want that? But also, gratitude isn't just about chasing joy. You know what it's about? It's about anchoring in peace. According to the Achieve Psychology Institute, mindful gratitude practices stabilize your nervous system. When you slow down and actually notice what's going right, even something small like the warmth of your morning coffee or a text from a friend or even a hug, your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. That's your body's natural relaxation response, the one that tells your brain, hey, you're safe, you can breathe. In other words, gratitude isn't just a spiritual practice, it's a biological intervention. And this is where it gets exciting. The neuroscience of gratitude, as explored in positive psychology, shows that when you focus on appreciation, your brain begins to build new neural pathways that make gratitude easier to access in the future. Think of it like a mental muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Over time, gratitude becomes your default lens, not your occasional dusty practice. That means that when things fall apart, like a relationship ending or a job change or shifting plans, your mind already knows how to look for the lesson rather than the loss. This is so important. And according to psychologists, that's the secret to long-term emotional resilience. Gratitude helps you reframe negative experiences, turning pain into purpose and confusion into clarity. It doesn't deny what hurts or forces positivity on you. It gently reminds you that you're still healing, still learning, still capable of more than maybe you realize. But let's talk about how to actually live that way. Because gratitude isn't meant to be saved for the holidays or highlight reels. It's meant to live in your daily moments. As wellness guidance on gratitude explains, gratitude grows when it's practiced mindfully, not mechanically. That means instead of making a quick list of 3 things you're thankful for and rushing on with your day, pause and connect to the emotion behind each one. Feel it in your body. Let it soften your energy. It can be as simple as saying, I'm grateful for my morning walk because those 15 minutes I felt calm, connected, and present. That's the sweet spot right there, where gratitude moves from your head to your heart. In fact, research has found that emotional reflection is what gives gratitude its power. It's not about quantity, it's about depth. In fact, writing one thoughtful reflection on something meaningful has a more lasting impact on happiness than listing 20 surface-level gratitude items. So if you've ever felt like gratitude journaling doesn't work for you, that's why. It's not about how much you list. It's about how deeply you connect with what you're writing. Here's a fascinating fact. Studies show that practicing gratitude can actually grow the part of your brain that helps you make decisions, helps you understand yourself, and feel empathy for others. Translation? Gratitude literally enables you to become more emotionally intelligent. You don't just feel grateful, you start thinking and responding from a more centered, grounded, and compassionate place. That's huge, especially in relationships. When you come from gratitude, you stop reacting from lack, from what am I not getting, and you start connecting from abundance, like what am I appreciating? And that shift alone can change how you love, how you listen, how you show up for the people in your life. Because here's the truth. Gratitude isn't something that should show up only when it feels like it. It's something that's built in the messy moments, in heartbreak, in healing, in the I have no idea what's next kind of day. As I've written before, gratitude isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about finding one thing that still is. And that one thing can be the thread that pulls you out of the dark and back into your light. So if life feels uncertain right now, that's okay. Gratitude isn't there to fix it. It's there to fortify you. It teaches you to see the whole picture, not just the parts that hurt. It helps you slow down, breathe, and remind yourself that even if everything isn't perfect, you're still progressing. And that's powerful because gratitude doesn't just change what you see, it changes who you become in the process. Here's something to think about. Gratitude doesn't always change what's happening around you, like we were saying, but it completely transforms how you show up within it, right? It's like switching from survival mode to soulful awareness, where instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You start realizing maybe it's happening for me. Gratitude is that quiet shift, the one that doesn't need to shout or sparkle, but somehow brings light exactly where you need it. It's the bridge between chaos and calm, and between why me and what now. And when you really understand that, when it clicks, you stop waiting for perfect moments to feel peace and start creating peace in the imperfect ones. That right there is the transformational power of gratitude. Let that marinate for a bit. Welcome back. It's time for some really profound, relatable questions and answers. Remember, you can reach out anytime with your questions or messages at powercoachsuzie.com. I'd love to hear from you. Here's our first question. I'm grateful for so many things, but sometimes life just feels heavy. How can gratitude help when I'm emotionally drained? That's such an honest and heartfelt question, and I love that you're being honest about it, because that's precisely where authentic gratitude begins. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything's okay when it's not. It's about giving yourself permission to hold both, the hard and the hopeful. According to psychology, gratitude doesn't erase the pain. It gives it perspective. So when you take even a few seconds to name 3 small things you're thankful for, even when your heart feels heavy, you're activating areas in your brain that signal safety and calm. It's like whispering to your nervous system, hey, you're okay. You're not alone. You've made it through before and you can do this now. Here's the thing. When we're emotionally drained, our brains naturally scan for what's wrong. It's a built-in survival instinct. Gratitude gently interrupts that cycle. It shifts the spotlight from chaos to calm, from depletion to restoration. In fact, practicing gratitude helps your body calm down by lowering stress hormones like cortisol, while boosting serotonin, the feel-good chemical that enables you to regain balance and steadiness. It's not about forcing positivity. It's about grounding in possibility. Gratitude doesn't fix the storm. It helps you remember that you have an umbrella. And let's be real. When life feels heavy, gratitude can feel almost impossible. You might think, how can I be thankful when everything feels too much? But that's where the magic is. Gratitude isn't for the easy days. It's for the ones that test your strength. It's for those mornings when getting out of bed is all you can manage. It's for those quiet evenings when you breathe through the pain and still find one thing, one purpose, one moment, one person that reminds you that there's still good in your life, good in the world. That shift from emptiness to awareness, that's your healing starting to whisper. Try this practice. On the days when you feel emotionally flooded, don't force a long gratitude list. Instead, create what I call a gratitude pause. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and think of one thing that anchors you. maybe the warmth of your blanket, the sound of laughter, or the way the sunlight hits your window. Say it out loud. In this moment, I'm grateful for, and then breathe it in like nourishment. Let your body feel that truth before your mind overthinks it, because that's the real beauty of gratitude. It's not about escaping your emotions. It's about expanding your capacity to hold them with grace. When you do that, gratitude becomes less of a list and more of a lifeline. It's how you turn exhaustion into strength and healing. Here's our second question. I've tried journaling gratitude lists, but it feels repetitive. How can I make it more meaningful and interesting? And how can I be motivated to do it? Oh, I love this one because you're not alone in feeling that way. Journaling, any kind of journaling, especially gratitude journaling, it's powerful, of course, but it can start to feel like autopilot when it becomes just another to-do list. The secret isn't in how much you write. It's in how deeply you connect with what you're writing. According to a 2024 study from Science Direct, specific gratitude, naming why something matters to you, increases lasting positive emotions by over 70%. That means that when you go beyond listing what you're grateful for and instead explore why it matters, your brain actually encodes that experience as emotional nourishment. So rather than saying, I'm grateful for my friend, try, I'm grateful for my friend because she listens without judgment when I need to vent. You'll notice how that one slight shift opens your heart. Here's the thing. Gratitude journaling isn't meant to be a highlight reel. It's meant to be a grounding practice. You can write about the tiny imperfect moments too. The cup of coffee that reminded you to slow down, or even that tasted great. The message from someone you didn't expect but needed. The quiet courage it took to keep showing up for yourself today. Those moments matter. They anchor your perspective and presence and not perfection. If you want to deepen your journaling, try this instead of a list. Write about one thing a day and describe it with all your senses. What you saw, felt, heard, or learned from it. This mindful reflection turns gratitude from a task into an experience, as sensory gratitude activates the same brain regions as meditation, creating calm and focus. And remember, gratitude journaling isn't about how much you write or how many things are on your list. It's about connection. Some days you'll write a page, some days just a sentence, and both count. The key is meaning. Gratitude is like working out your emotional muscles. The more you do it with intention, the stronger your peace of mind becomes. If some days you don't have it in you, that's okay too. Mental reflections count as well. But do get back to writing the next day. So if your gratitude list feels stale, don't abandon it. Evolve it. Make it a love letter to the present moment. When you do, you'll start to notice how much beauty has been waiting quietly between the lines. And here's our third and final question. Can gratitude really improve relationships? Absolutely. And not just a little. Gratitude is one of the most underrated relationship superpowers. When we think about strengthening relationships, we often focus on communication or boundaries. And while those are essential, really important, gratitude is the emotional glue that holds it all together. A 2024 study in the Journal of Human Development found that expressing genuine appreciation actually strengthens bonds with others, builds empathy, and it creates what researchers call emotional safety. That feeling of being seen, valued, and respected. When you express gratitude authentically, not out of habit, but genuinely from the heart, you're telling someone, I see you. I appreciate what you bring into my life. That kind of acknowledgement is one of the most intimate forms of connection there is. Think about it. How often do we overlook the small, consistent things people do for us? A partner making you coffee in the morning, a friend checking in when you go quiet, a colleague who makes your day easier. Gratitude turns those ordinary gestures into moments of meaning. According to psychology, when people feel appreciated, their brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It softens defenses, builds trust, and it deepens emotional intimacy. So yes, gratitude can absolutely transform relationships because it shifts the focus from what's missing to what's truly meaningful. When you start noticing and naming what's good in the people around you, it really changes the tone of your interactions. Suddenly, you're not just reacting to what they do wrong, you're reinforcing what they do right. That creates emotional safety, and safety is where connection thrives. Try this. Once a week, tell someone in your life that you appreciate them, but also why you appreciate them. Be specific. Mention how something they did impacted you. For example, thank you for checking in when I was quiet last week. It reminded me that I wasn't alone. That level of truth-telling and appreciation strengthens the invisible threads between people. And the best part, gratitude doesn't just make others feel good. It makes you feel more connected, calm, and content. It reminds you that you're part of a web of care, not out here doing life solo. Gratitude turns relationships from transactional into transformational, and that's where authentic love, friendship, and belonging start to grow. Here's something to really sit with for a moment. When you choose gratitude, you're choosing to step out of the scarcity mindset that tells you peace, joy, or connection is somewhere over there, somewhere else, waiting to be earned. Gratitude doesn't wait for perfect circumstances. It grows within the imperfect ones. That's why, even when life feels heavy, even when your energy is drained, the simple act of noticing one thing you appreciate can shift your entire internal landscape. As we talked about, it's not about denying the hard stuff. It's about expanding your capacity to hold it, to see both struggle and strength in the same moment. Gratitude is the bridge between exhaustion and emotional resilience. It's what allows your nervous system to slow down, your mind to shift focus, and your heart to open to connection, both with yourself and the people around you. When you get specific, mindful, and intentional, whether you're journaling about why something matters, acknowledging small acts of kindness from others, or simply pausing to breathe in the beauty that surrounds you, you're rewiring your brain to find calm and clarity first, and joy second. This is how gratitude becomes a practice of empowerment, not just a random mood boost. Here's a takeaway you can start today. On heavy or ordinary days, create a gratitude pause, as we mentioned before. Stop for a minute and ask yourself, let's do it right now. What is one thing right now, this minute, that reminds me I'm still supported, still growing, still capable? Say it out loud. Don't worry, we can't hear you. Feel it. Let that tiny acknowledgement ripple through your body. Over time, these moments add up. Gratitude stops being a checklist and becomes a lens through which life's challenges feel manageable, relationships feel richer, and your own strength feels visible. So remember this. Gratitude isn't a reward you give yourself for happiness. It's the root of joy itself. It's the soil that grows resilience, connection, and peace. And when you practice it consistently, even in the ordinary or challenging moments, it doesn't just change what you notice. It changes who you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. Now I'll be sharing a discussion with a client that really brings everything we've talked about together. And trust me, it's a story full of real life drama, growth, and those, oh, I see me in them moments. A client came to me feeling completely overwhelmed. She just lost her job, her confidence was shaken, and her life felt like it had been thrown into a relentless storm. She described it as if she were adrift at sea. Waves crashing from every direction, her raft leaking, and no lighthouse in sight. She said to me, I feel like I'm failing at everything. How do I even start again? And I leaned in and said, the lighthouse is there and we're going to find it. While it won't calm the waves, it will show you the way. So, we began with gratitude, but not the everything's perfect kind. We practice gratitude as a grounding tool, a way to stabilize the mind and heart when life feels unmanageable and overwhelming. I asked her to do something totally counterintuitive at first. Each day, write down one thing that didn't go right, that didn't go her way. The missed call, the traffic jam, the small rejection, dropping her coffee, slipping on the ice. And then asked her to reflect on what lesson or hidden blessing it carried. At first, she was confused, but I told her the path forward is actually in the things you don't see as wins yet. Let's say that again. The path forward is actually in the things you don't see as wins yet. Slowly, the exercise began to work. Her journal transformed. What started as a list of failures, as missed opportunities and challenges and frustrations, became a narrative of resilience and insight into herself. She began to notice the subtle life blessings she had been missing, like her natural calm that she maintained during stressful calls, the courage it took to keep applying for jobs, especially the ones outside her comfort zone, and the self-discipline to show up for herself each day despite the exhaustion that she felt. She started seeing patterns, the lessons hidden in setbacks, the strengths she didn't realize she had, the small moments of joy tucked in the ordinary days. We even added little prompts that made her smile and kept her engaged. For instance, what's one funny or unexpected thing that happened today? Or what's one moment that made you think, okay, that was weirdly good? These were not fluff. They were reminders that life, even in its chaos, contains light. It's not toxic positivity. It's a reframe. And the more she noticed it, the more her energy shifted from desperation to empowered curiosity. And personally, I've been there too. There were countless mornings when I have woken up feeling invisible, feeling drained and frustrated, questioning if anything I did truly mattered, if I mattered, especially during those seasons when challenges piled up in both my personal and professional life. I could have easily spiraled into despair, stuck in that why me loop, letting doubt and comparison run the show. But instead, I created small intentional rituals that changed everything. Each morning, I wrote down 3 small wins I was proud of. Not significant achievements, but tiny victories that often went unnoticed, like carving out some time for myself to even breathe and reset, replying to some messages or emails I've been avoiding, or being there for my family. Those small acts felt almost ordinary at first, but slowly they became my lighthouse, a steady point of light guiding me through the stormy seas of doubt and all the overwhelm. Over time, this simple practice shifted my perspective. I stopped waiting for external validation or for some grand proof that I was succeeding. Instead, I began to notice that I was moving forward, creating opportunities for growth and connection. And then the courage showed up every day in itself. The validation, I was validating myself. I didn't need external validation. Winning doesn't always look like applause or recognition. Sometimes winning is just showing up for yourself, finding light in ordinary moments, and quietly building your resilience and confidence from within yourself. Think of it like this: the storm doesn't stop, the waves keep crashing. That's life. But gratitude becomes your beam of light cutting through the darkness. It shows you where to steer, where to anchor, and what to hold on to when everything feels unsteady. That's what I saw happen with my client. She went from feeling adrift to feeling steady, from overwhelmed to empowered, and from watching life happen to taking her own reins. Here's a satisfying real-life payoff. Months later, she walked back to me and had a little sparkle in her eye, which is really nice to see. She found a new job. And more importantly, she found her voice, her confidence, her ability to spot her own lighthouse, the ability to navigate life's storms without feeling lost. She told me, "I feel like I finally see myself even when everything is messy." Over time, she became a light for others too, who were struggling like she did. And that, my friends, is the power of gratitude practiced as a tool for empowerment. Because the truth is this: gratitude isn't about pretending the waves aren't there. No, it's about finding the lighthouse in the storm, the tiny, steady light that helps you steer through the chaos and recognize your own strength and see opportunities in places you only once saw obstacles. It's the difference between surviving life's storms and learning to navigate them with grace, awareness, and confidence. So today we've learned that gratitude is far more than a simple attitude. It's really a deliberate daily practice of power. It's a mindset that doesn't wait for life to be perfect. Instead, it rewires your brain to notice the good, even in the messy, challenging, and unpredictable moments. Research showed us that gratitude strengthens your nervous system. It boosts feel-good brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, and even supports physical health by lowering stress and improving immunity. In other words, gratitude doesn't just feel good. It makes you stronger, calmer, and more resilient and empowered. We also saw how gratitude works in real life through both reflection and action. From journaling with intention to expressing heartfelt appreciation in relationships, all these practices become our lighthouse, a steady beam guiding you through the storms of life. Like my client who felt lost and overwhelmed, or the moments in my own journey when I felt invisible and uncertain, gratitude gives us the tools to hold the hard things and still see the light. It's not about ignoring the struggle. It's about expanding your capacity to navigate it with clarity, courage, and presence. And perhaps the most important lesson is this: gratitude isn't about perfection. It's about perspective. It's about noticing the small victories, the hidden lessons, and the quiet anchors that keep you moving forward. Gratitude teaches you that even when life is unpredictable or heavy, you can find strength, joy, and connection, and that choosing to see these moments daily transforms not only your mood, but the very way you show up in the world. So whether it's a mindful pause, a reflective journal entry, or a sincere thank you to someone who matters, remember, gratitude is a practice you carry with you. It's a shining light you create from the inside out, and a daily choice that empowers you to rise, even in the middle of life's storms. Let's close today with an affirmation, and you can repeat it with me. I am grounded in gratitude. I see the good. I grow through the rest. Repeat it slowly. Let it sink in. I am grounded in gratitude. I see the good. I grow through the rest. one last time. Feel it in your body and mind. I am grounded in gratitude. I see the good. I grow through the rest. Use this anytime you feel overwhelmed or drained. Morning, midday, before bed. Each repetition trains your brain to notice what lifts you, not what limits you. Gratitude doesn't make life perfect. It makes you stronger, calmer, and ready to navigate what's coming your way. I'll end with a quote that resonated deeply with me. When I point to the obviously wonderful aspects of my life as the source of my joy, it predisposes me to believing the challenges in my life are what rob me of joy. As soon as I began exploring the ways I could be grateful for the hard stuff, I no longer felt like the outer world was the sole dictator of what was happening in my inner world. Andrea Gibson. Thank you for being here and stepping into your power with me today. I look forward to seeing you next week for another empowering conversation. Until then, stay thankful, stay grounded, and stay you. You can catch these episodes anytime on my podcast, Signals and Standards with Suzie, available on all your favorite listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube. For daily inspiration and practical advice, find me on social media at Power Coach Suzie. Got questions or ideas for the show? Head to powercoachsuzie.com where you can connect with me, explore the blog, or learn more about what I do. This is Suzie signing off. Until next time, keep reading the signals and never, ever lower your standards.